Relax, honey. It's okay. All right.
Hello, everybody. Susan, Andy, thank you so much for joining me. And folks in the chat that's already there, I'm sorry we're late. My headphones just decided to die, so I'm strictly using my computer. We were talking backstage, and all of a sudden, nope, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. Nope, nope, nope. So please let me know in the chat if you can hear me okay. I know Andy and Susan said they can.
Yep.
I've never tried using my desktop mic before, so we'll see how this goes. In the meantime, we'll go through the chat real quick, and then we'll get to you girls' stories.
Okay.
Sound like a plan?
Sure.
Sounds good.
You roll your eyes, young lady, one more time.
This is my first, so we'll see how it
you're
goes.
fine. You are fine.
I know it's all friends.
Carnivore K is here.
Hi.
Hi.
Lynn, happy
Hi,
Friday.
Lynn.
Cindy, Brian, he's somewhere. Andy, Susan, and everyone this evening. Evelyn's
Hi,
here.
Evelyn. We miss you.
Lynn saying
I missed
hi
you
to
shopping
Kay.
today.
Karen's here.
Hi, Karen.
Ah, the sisters, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Karen and Therese.
And saying hello. Hope y'all had a lovely Thanksgiving. I know you guys did. I saw pictures. Hello. Hi, Cindy, Andy, and Susan listening on the drive home. And as I always say, be careful.
Right. Yes. Definitely. Be careful.
Oh, yeah.
Loud and clear. Thank you.
Good.
Got you now. Sounds good.
Friends.
I hear you good because I don't have to wear that stupid headset anymore.
No.
Sounds good.
We haven't met Brenda either.
Debbie's right in the other room saying hi.
Hi, Deb.
Hi.
Brenda Foley's here. Jeff Foltz is here.
Jeff, how are you?
Yes. And Jeff, thank you so much. He responded to my video this morning about keto chow. He says, I ordered, thank you, and you're welcome. Yes, thank you. Everybody saying hello. Hi, Amy.
We have not met Amy.
No.
Hi, how are you?
Is it the Amy that's trying to get there?
Her through.
No.
Amy, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you jumped on my channel through either Chris Cooking Nashville's or somebody else that I've been on with.
That's fairly recent.
Yes. Amy,
Jennifer.
Here.
Lynn.
Everybody saying hi. All right. I have whizzed through all those highs.
Cool.
So which one of you wants to start?
Well, we talked about this earlier. We talked about this earlier, and I think I have the longer story I started earlier. And that's Luna. So you will be hearing her probably throughout this.
From Terry Least video. That's right. That's right. I am so sorry, Amy. I'm a short-term memory here.
Yeah.
Terry Least is hysterical.
I follow Terry now as well.
Oh my goodness, she's funny. I just watched Steak and Butter Girl make Chris's mashed potatoes. Yes, I saw that. And hi.
Luna, Evelyn says hi. And Carl probably says hi too.
Sherry Nevada Pup is in the house. Hello, ladies. Hi, Sherry.
Come here.
So you've talked about this, and who's going to go first, Susan?
Yeah, I think she's going to go first only because chronologically it makes more sense.
This is Luna.
Oh, wow. How pretty.
She says, I'm pretty. I'm pretty, Mama.
Hi. How are you?
She's very pretty.
She's a
showini.
She's popular on my channel. Everybody, my most watched videos have her in them. So she has a story too that we will tell in the future.
Are you a good girl?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. You're gonna get down here with your mommy. With your mommy.
Good baby. No, you can put her down.
Okay. Say bye. Bye.
Oh no, you're all right. All right.
She just wanted to make an appearance like Max does all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's laying in her blue chair now.
She's getting in her bed. My story starts in the keto community. Well, the health and wellness community, which is what my channel is based on now, me and my walking, started in about 2017 as I was getting the bad news that my ex-husband, the father of my children, died from a heart attack.
A widowmaker.
At age 47. And we were married for 13 years. So I knew he didn't eat great. We didn't eat great. And when you die at 47, you kind of take a look at your health and say, that was not good. What can we do to fix it? Plus my children need a parent. I was the only one left, along with Susan. But I was the only one left that they had. And but that was 2017. July 2017, I got my first Fitbit, and I started walking. When you hear everything, you start, okay, get some of the crap out of your house. First thing I got rid of was high fructose corn syrup. If it was in the label, it went in the trash, unbeknownst to this one here.
Yes, I came home and got a heck of a surprise coming out of my pantry.
It's like, yeah, this doesn't exist anymore. I cleaned out the fridge. I cleaned out everything. And she says, okay, now what do we eat? And I said, well, we'll find out. So we got rid of all of that. I'm ashamed to say that my children, who are 33, 29, and 22 now, were not raised on.
They were raised what everybody else was raised on.
I didn't cook. We went out. I mean, the fight that we would have was, do we go to Troy to eat dinner, or do we go to Collinsville in Illinois? And Andy, we would have a fight at the stop sign. Do we turn left or do we turn right?
But Andy, you can't beat yourself up over that, because everybody raised their kids on a sad way of eating.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, my boys are 43 and 42.
Yeah.
You know,
Hunter, we were poor, and let me tell you what, we had the government processed cheese, all that, the terrible stuff for you.
Yeah.
Now you look at that stuff and you think, oh my God, we ate that. We loved it when we were little.
Well, and when you're poor, you're only going. I mean, the Salvation Army. Hi, Dustin. When you don't have an income and you're waiting on the government to help you through, they say go to pantries in your city. And what do they have? They have processed foods and things that'll be on your shelf. Hi, Mary T. How are you?
I just quit going through these.
Oh, that's good.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate that.
You're awesome, Dustin.
And like Kay said, we all ate that way.
Yep. Yeah.
That's right.
And it's
just, Sabrina's here.
It's just part of it's just part of the way of raising kids. And I'm so glad now. I mean, I'm 53, Susan 61. We're not dead yet. We still are alive enough and able to change our way. And from 2017, well, I've never had a weight problem. I mean, I had 3 kids and I graduated high school at 117 pounds. I could eat a 20 piece. I mean, yeah, it was 1989. I could eat a 20 piece and have my metabolism I didn't gain weight. Even after I had my 3rd child, I was still down to 130. But when I got divorced and we had some custody issues, we lived in Ohio. My ex lived in St. Louis, and my youngest daughter had visitation rights. So every month we would go. Well, I would go. She would sometimes go with me. I would go the weekend between Ohio. We'd pass through Terre Haute, Indiana. Wise Pies Pizza became my best friend through that emotional 3 years that we had to go back and forth. Wise Pies was my emotional eating. I would order a slice. It's New York style pizza. And I would order a slice. I would take a pie in my car, and I have pictures of it in my car. And I would have the second slice in my mouth by the time I got back on the highway. So, so pizza did a number on me for 3 years. And when he died in 2017, I was the photographer of the family, and I hated, the only pictures that were ever taken of me were of my birthdays. And I can see myself getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Mm-hmm. And in 2017, I finally said, no, we have to do this. We went to YMCA and I started walking. Susan worked full time, so she did what she could.
Yep.
And Susan is a type 2 diabetic, has been ever since
for the last 25 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her numbers are going way down. She's not out of it, but she's running 7s. Her A1C is about 7, and they were running 13, 11, 9. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's definitely healthier now than she was before. But my walking has increased over the past 7 years. I've met, 2017, 18, 19, I was on a steady curve to be healthier. And then COVID happened, and
we were all
emotional
stuck.
Eating again. So 2021 was bad. 2022, January, I was at my highest weight at 207. And I finally says, I'm done. I had to change my why. I had a friend of mine, I'd been telling her over the previous 18 months, no, I'm not going to do it. I know you're a coach for Optavia. And she was doing it. She'd lost huge amounts. I mean, she lost like 100 pounds. And I kept on telling her, no, I won't do it. And in January, I finally called her up and I said, okay, what's your program? $400 a month, 5 meals, 5 bars that they send you, and then a lean and green. And my lean and green every night was Caesar salad with chicken with a protein, but it was all soy based. I lost 40 pounds between January and September. So I went from 207 down to 180, and I couldn't get down below 180. I stalled at about July. So I was in a stall. And then in September, when we went to Vegas, I said, honey, I'm not bringing Optavia with us. I'm going off. And she says, okay, so we don't have to pack it. I lost 8 pounds in 7 days because I was so inflamed from the soy inside all those packaged foods that they had. Mm-hmm. I lost 8 pounds. So I was down to 172. And after that vacation, I was on YouTube and finding people were talking about this thing called Keto Palooza, and it had just ended. So Serious Keto, 2KK, this thing called Keto Chow, and all these live streams started. So I started listening to Rachel and Joe on Two Crazy Ketos. And then they were following and doing vacations with Chris and Miriam from Keto Chow. And they were talking about Dr. Berry and, who else? I had Keto Connect in my YouTube feeds as well. Serious Keto was there. Serious Keto, his first video I ever watched him was, what is this Keto Chow? So he tried 3 flavors and then he was hooked. That's the first one I'd ever seen. And that's the start. And now, mind you, I went down to, I still did intermittent fasting. But when you listen to Joe talk, and I had Mindy Peltz on there too. Dr. Mindy Peltz about Fast Like a Girl. Mm-hmm. And Dr. Fung or Jason Fung and mm-hmm. all those. I mean, we've got all the books upstairs. They're all upstairs. Mm-hmm. Did I read them? Maybe. I listened to the live. I found him on YouTube. She'll tell you, I am always on YouTube. This computer sits, this is my office right here. Right here is my office. She sits there and watches Hallmark. I'm here. I'm not upstairs in my office, but I'm here. I'll do my thing here. I'm listening. That's the way I do my life now. And now that I started YouTube, if I'm not watching YouTube, I'm editing a YouTube video. And I'm so sorry.
That's why she came down here, though, instead of being upstairs. Because I'm like, okay.
But I mean, I've been in a stall since I haven't gained weight on keto, but I haven't lost it either. My lowest is 162, and that was between Keto-Palooza 23 and January 24, because Keto-Palooza was October. We had the Triple B and E with Joe and Rachel in October, and then they had the 2KK cruise in December. So we went on that, and then January happened, and I fell off the wagon, and I'm still struggling to get back on. So I'm sitting at about 172. I can't get below it. So there's a cruise in a week, and I'm going to be on it, and we're going to be on it. And hopefully I can get it some charge and get my mojo back.
Okay. Mary says, we didn't know what we didn't know when we were raising our kids. My daughter would only eat meat pies, Kraft dinner, rice-a-roni, and cereal till she was 20. Mm-hmm. She's not much better now at 50.
Wow.
Well, I guess this is
saying hi.
I guess this is.
I'm pretty sure I saw Andi first in Autumn Sunday Lives.
Ah,
really?
Well,
that was after the first Keto-Palooza, because I missed it.
Yeah. No, Keto-Palooza. That was
the 20. Was that? The 22 we missed.
The 22 we missed. So yeah, imagine my surprise when my wife tells me, honey, I'd really like to go to this thing called Keto-Palooza. And I'm like, oh God, okay, well, that's our anniversary weekend. And I'm like, well, it's in Louisville. I'll find something to do in Louisville. There's a racetrack there and stuff. We're good. So we go. And she's like, well, come down and listen to some of the stuff with me. And I'm like, okay. So I listen.
Rachel sang happy birthday to you.
I know. Yes. When then I saw me, I got a hug and a song. But when I went to Keto-Palooza 23, I listened to all these people get up here and tell stories and talk about how unbelievably unhappy they were because no one understood them. You know, their spouses were not supportive. They didn't understand it. They didn't get it because they bought into all the same stuff that we've always heard. Yeah. Red meat's bad for you, blah, blah, blah. All the same things that we've always all heard.
Right.
That was it. And I was like, wow, okay. So at the end of Keto-Palooza on the last day, they asked for what were your takeaways? Mm-hmm. And so I went up and spoke because I said, my takeaway was I love my wife. I've been married for a good amount of time. And I always try to be supportive. And I thought, well, okay, if I'm going to be supportive and I don't want my wife to be standing up there saying the same things these other people were saying, that they weren't being supported and stuff. And I thought, wow, no, okay, I'm a better spouse than that. I will, pay attention.
So she did triple B&E with me.
So I did triple B&E. She had tried once before, but I did not participate. It was much easier when I participated because then it was easy to cook. So we did triple B&E, and I was like, well, okay.
She lost about 10 pounds. I lost about 6.
But I got a little bored with only eating the same things. And I thought, well, okay, we have to meet more people and do more things because there's got to be a lot more recipes out there.
Right.
So then we went on that cruise, and actually the cruise was nice because it wasn't a working cruise. It was just a vacation cruise. I got to meet Joe and Rachel and meet them as people and not someone trying to convince me of something. And then it was just like, okay, So we're going to eat. We're going to talk about these different things. And I was like, oh, okay.
We had a ball.
This is not bad. We met a ton of people. And I said to Andi, I was like, honey, I think, we'll give this a shot and see how this goes. I will try to be more supportive with her. So then I started walking more. And I started with, so many steps per month and then so many zone minutes.
Now it's your story.
Yes. Now it comes into the fun part. So I've been a diabetic. I've been a very bad one at times and a very good one at other times, but started doing my steps and doing my zone minutes in March. And then in March, we went down to Miami Beach. We had a nice little vacation. And then when we came back from vacation, I was trying to get my steps in and I noticed it was feeling really hard for me to do. And I thought, well, that's just weird. I've never really had a problem. I walk all over the place.
You walked in Miami the previous week.
And I walk at work all the time. So it was like, why am I having a hard time with this? So when I saw my doctor, I said to my doctor, I'm feeling not pain, but pressure. And she's like, well, that's kind of strange. And she goes, you know what? She goes, do you only feel that pressure when you're trying to get your zone minutes? And I said, yes. She says, I want you to go next door to the ER. I want you to get a simple blood test. And the blood test was for a cardiac enzyme that will show up, troponin, that will show up in your bloodstream if there's something going on with your heart. So your normal number is supposed to be like 12 or under. So when they did the blood test, mine was a 44.
Ooh.
So my doctor was just like, oh, okay, there's something going on. So I'm like, okay. And when you go to the ER, they will test you for an hour and then wait and then test you again. So I went from 44 to 46. So they're like, oh, there's certainly some kind of activity going on, but we don't know what. And the ER people were like, oh, honey, you're all right. Because, if you're having a heart attack or anything like that, it's in the thousands. And I'm like, oh, well, that's good.
But it still wasn't normal.
But it wasn't normal. And I said, I've never had any pain. I don't really understand what's going on there. And so I went back to back to my normal life. And it wasn't but a week later, my wife got to really dislike Fridays because it seemed like every Friday this happened. So I would work all week and then 4 or 5 in the morning, I would wake up and my heart would be pounding. So when my heart was pounding, I'm like, okay, this doesn't make any sense. So I woke her up and I'm like, honey, you need to take me to the hospital. Why? And she's like, why? And I said, because my heart is pounding out of my chest. Get to the hospital. My blood pressure is 180 over 120. And my heart's just pounded. Well, I didn't have pain. I didn't have any symptoms. I didn't even have an EKG on file. So, we had to go through all that. And just by the process of how long all that stuff takes and all the testing, this time they did my cardiac enzyme and I was 28. Oh, that was less than the last time. So it was like, well, they're like, well, we're not, it's going back down. So we didn't give you anything, which they did not. All they did was test me. So then they sent me back home and I'm like, okay. Then the next Friday come along. So this is the third one now. Third one, same thing. I'm like, okay. We get there. They check my cardiac enzyme. It's an 8. I'm normal. And I'm like, this is insane. If I'm an 8 and it's normal, what the heck's going on? So I say to my doctor, all right, so now I've done all the stuff that you wanted to do. And the ER people are not helping at all. Because they're just like, well, we gave you nothing and you were fine. So, yeah. So then it was, well, okay, maybe you're, anxious. And I'm like, well, yes. If my blood pressure is that high, I'm definitely anxious. I never had high blood pressure. So I said, okay, so what is the next thing? They're like, get a stress test. And I'm like, okay, get a stress test. So I go get a stress test. They put you on the treadmill and then do your blood pressure. My stress test was a 7. They were like, well, that's pretty good. And I'm like, okay, you guys are giving me headaches here. So on my 4th Friday, so now it's been a month, my 4th Friday, I wake my wife and she's just like, honey, see if you can get through it. If it's just anxiety, see if you can get through it. And I'm like, okay. So I make it through, but I'm checking my blood pressure. I'm checking my heart rate, and it's still high. My blood pressure is still high. I'm like, okay. So I said, listen, I've done all the things that you all told me to do, and you're not giving me any answers. I was rather pushy. I called the nurse practitioner and I said, listen, you're going to get me a cardiologist appointment.
Cardiac cath.
And I had the stress test on Monday. I said, I want an appointment by Friday. I don't care where it is. You find one. She's like, well, ma'am, I take care of 28 offices. Let me see what I can do. But she found me one on Friday.
Monday.
Oh, on Monday.
It was Monday.
So, no, that was for the cardiac cath. But she's found me when the cardiologist says, well, one of the times that you were in the ER, they did do a CT scan on you. And on the CT scan, they saw a couple little dots. So the cardiologist says, well, we're going to put you in for a cardiac cath, where they put the little thing in and send it up, look at your heart. I'm like, okay. We set that up for Monday. I go in. Apparently, I'm out. Apparently, they go in. It gets stuck. They go in again, and they come right back out. They come out and tell her, okay, she needs a bypass.
She was gone for 10 minutes. They wheeled her right back in, and no, this is good news, right? No, this is not good news.
No.
She looks at me and she says, they have to crack my chest. It's
yes. So.
And she's not being released from the hospital either.
No,
she's
because.
Going to have it in 2 days. They're not, they won't release her because they don't think it's safe for her to go home.
No. So then he tells me, well, I had a procedure scheduled for tomorrow, but that guy's got had an allergy attack. So we're going to put you in right at Tuesday morning, bright and early. I don't remember any of this. From the cardiac cath on, I'm out.
I do.
She got the joy there. I'm on the table for 6.5 hours. And when they come out, they tell her I had a quintuple bypass.
They told me they were going to do a triple. They ended up 7 hours later. They did it.
They did 5.
And the thing is,
wow.
The irony of this is my ex-husband died on 4/23/17.
And this was 4/23/23.
23.
Oh, 24. Yeah, 24. You're right. It's this year.
So 7 years on his anniversary of his death, she was on the table getting a quintuple bypass.
Yes.
So we have a new reason to like that date now because Susan survived.
Yes, I did. It was funny because, that was the first thing that they asked me when I went in for the cardiac cath is, what do you want to get out of this? I said, I want to survive. So I survived. Yeah. They took arteriographs in several different places in my body. I had a 75%, an 80, an 85, a 90, and a 95% blockages. But I never had a heart attack.
And she never had pain. It was only
pressure. I never had pain. So the biggest takeaway from this is, as women, all the studies that they do on heart attacks and all that, they all do on men. Women do not present the same way at all. So as I'm in the hospital for my 8 days here after my surgery, I meet the director of nursing. I meet the administrators. I meet all these people. Most of these people were women. And they all said exactly the same thing. Women do not present the same, but they don't do the research on women.
The money's not there. They do it on.
So they do it on the men.
Based on men weighing 250 pounds.
And the problem is, for women, we don't present the same way. Let's be honest. Look at it. Women are taught from a very early age, we are taught, you take care of everybody else and then yourself. And that is what we are taught. That is what our bodies learn from, 8, 9, 10 years old on, especially once you start a period, that it's you take care of everybody else and then take care of you. So when they went through all this with me, I'm like, wow, okay, so they were like, oh, you're doing so good. We're going to, you're doing great. And I'm thinking, I didn't have the heart attack. So not having the heart attack, I didn't do any of that unnecessary damage. So I got all of this, sheer luck. But what I want people to get out of this is, for women, it was a simple blood test that saved my life.
An enzyme. Yeah.
That cardiac enzyme
impressive.
showed that there was something going on. But what also saved my life is the fact that I'm a pushy pain in the butt. And I was determined that I was going to find out what was going on here.
And we were doing keto together.
And we were doing keto so that
she'd been doing keto for 9 months before this happened.
Yeah. So I knew, okay, I've not had any problems. I've been able to do this. But what happened was, as I was getting to higher numbers, then my heart had problem being able to do that. And so I knew every month how much I increased my steps and increased my zone minutes. So I knew immediately when I was in Miami, it was 85 degrees and I was walking up and down the boardwalk. But when I came back home and was trying to do, and 40 degrees and trying to do that same thing, I couldn't do it.
And I love the cold now.
So I was like, okay, something is going on. So my big takeaways are, it's a simple blood test that saved me. But it also takes, you have to be your own advocate.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to say.
You have to have an advocate. If you're, for 8 days, they give you insulin during surgery because it's mandatory.
Oh, they blew me up.
She's been off insulin for over a year. She tapered down. She wasn't on insulin anymore. So it blew her numbers back up.
Oh yeah. And
I would see on her my chart, because I had her phone, I would see on her my chart that she's got her blood glucose was 313. It's like I called him, was like, what are you doing about this? Oh yeah, she's already gotten 6 units for it.
Oh yeah. So they're
getting her out of the hospital was the greatest thing because I couldn't stand having all those medicines run through her. And I was able to say, no, this isn't right. We haven't done this.
Yeah.
I brought her shakes.
Oh yeah. So she started bringing me keto food.
Through the food. I took pictures of the hospital food and the menus.
The menus were so bad. The one lady says
she ate chicken and vegetables the whole time because she couldn't really eat anything else unless I brought her keto chow.
Yeah, because that was terrible. I was like, all right, you guys want me to do this and you're checking my insulin and you're doing all this. If you want me to, and especially when you're a heart patient, your potassium level has to be here and all. So I was being tested all the time and I'm thinking, but when you guys want to feed me, you give me a menu with crap on it.
Yeah.
I said, how am I supposed to eat any of this stuff?
You couldn't have sour cream, but you could have.
Oh yeah. She says to me, I said, okay, so I wanted, she had an open face sandwich. And I'm like, well, I don't want the bread, but I want the meat. And she's like, oh, well, if you don't want the bread, if you don't want that, I can make you a cheesecake. And I'm like, I'm a diabetic. I'm like, okay, you people want no sense. So I was like, all righty. It was one of those, here we go. So now this year when I went to Keto-Palooza, it was a drastically different time this time. Because from this Keto-Palooza, what you got was a tremendous amount of gratitude. You saw people from 23 to 24 that were back and their lives had changed and changed for the better.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that was a wonderful thing. And I thought, I don't know if Autumn and Richard and them guys realized that, but it was a huge difference from 23 to 24 on the overall view. And I think that's because the community is getting bigger.
Yeah.
And because
the number of new people that were there was so impressive.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was like, wow, that was like huge.
Oh, it was huge.
When Dr. Barry came on stage and he asked his first question, who here has beat type 2 diabetes?
Yep.
And the number of people that stood up then was like, oh my word.
And so
you talk to so many people and they don't get it. And it's so aggravating.
No, and the thing is, it's because we're taught early on that there are certain people that go up on that little pedestal, and doctors were always those people. The problem is a lot of doctors now know. I mean, like my cardiologist, okay, I'm kind of mean to him because he's a young little whippersnapper. And so when I said I was on the keto diet, he was kind of like, oh. So when I went to my 6-month appointment, I wore my beef butter and eggs shirt. So he was just like, the nurse laughed. He just looked at me like, and I'm like, okay. I said, now we did my blood workup. And when I had done my blood workup after 3 months after surgery, my triglycerides and cholesterol levels were all so good that I said, I'm not taking a statin when my numbers are good.
Yeah.
But when I did my 6-month numbers, they were up a little bit. And I said, you don't even have to tell me. I can see that they changed. I will take the statin until we do the next 3 months. Mm-hmm. And then if they go back down, then I will want that reduced down. I will want it to go away. I took statins for years, 10 years, and they didn't do anything.
She still had it.
They didn't do anything for me. So I'm like, okay, what's the point there? So I said, I have made a lifestyle change. It isn't a diet. It is a lifestyle change.
Yep.
I like my vegetables. I eat my vegetables. Mm-hmm. I like vegetables. I like fruits. I will eat fruits. But I know because of being a diabetic, I eat my fruits before noon. Then I use that sugar all day long, and that works for me. Mm-hmm. I really, truly believe there's not a catch-all for each. I think everybody has their own individual things.
Right.
I am a diabetic, but I'm also an excellent healer. So that's very unusual for a diabetic to be a good healer.
Oh, honey, I know. Brian's a type 1.
Yeah.
Trust me.
I don't have a blood thinner. I don't take a blood thinner. He's like, well, maybe I had to put you on one. I said, what for? If I don't need one, don't put me on one. Mm-hmm. So the whole point there is you have to be your advocate, and you have to say, okay, because you tell me this does not mean it is certain. It is, you have to ask, and you have to say, okay, I need you to show me this, and I need this proof. I need this proof that says, okay, if I'm here,
yep,
we go.
Yep, we were there.
And if you don't, then I don't. But it's like, no, there's no more. Just because you're the doctor does not mean that you necessarily know best. You know what you were trained at and taught at. Mm-hmm. I am a trainer and a documentation specialist. So I understand that concept of when I would teach people, if I wanted to make sure that I taught them something very specific, you have to imprint that first. That's human nature. Doctors get imprinted that this is what they do. Mm-hmm. Now, if you look at how they train doctors, residency, I cannot say, is one of the better methods in God knows to teach someone how to be a good doctor, because they run them 36 and 48-hour shifts. Now, do you want the doctor looking at you on hour 39? I don't. But look at it, that is what they do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is what they do, because it's like the Marine Corps. They weed you out. And it's like, that's probably not the best way to train them. Right. And it really isn't. But it's because it's a tried and true method. It has worked. So the biggest part here is I like that we build a community. It's an accepting community, but it's also a community that has to ask why. Yeah. And that's the good thing.
Be your own advocate.
Be your own advocate. Ask your own questions. Yeah. And what may work for you may not work for me. Mm-hmm. And we have to be understanding about that.
I'll tell you, I think Brian's doctors hate to see me coming. Yeah. They do. I would go through the chat real quick. Mm-hmm. Brenda is here. Brenda, how is your son doing? He had a liver transplant.
Oh, wow.
A couple months ago. Rick was here, and I saw later on that he had to leave because he was having trouble with his internet. And I put your channel up.
Oh, there you go. She's put it up.
Yeah. Carnivore K just subscribed to you.
Thank you.
We haven't met Evelyn says, Susan, pushy.
Nah. You should see me at work.
Yeah, this is where Rick said I have had very bad buffering. He was watch it later. Stacy's here.
Hi,
Hello,
Stace.
hope all is well with our keto family. All is well right here.
I'm gonna make that pizza dip because that was really good. So we're doing a New Year's Eve party now, so I'll be making that.
Yeah. Evelyn was with us. I mean, she.
Oh yeah, I had to thank Evelyn and Carl. They were so good when I was in the hospital.
They came here and helped me make meals.
They came home and made meals and stuff because I was going to be home. And I'll be honest with you,
they're the only ones who visited Susan in the hospital.
I'm a workaholic person. It's just my personality. But the fact that I had to stay home after getting out of the hospital for the next like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was rough. So it was
Honey,
good.
when are you going back to work?
I know. It was like they're like, Sue, are you sure you want to go back that early? And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sure.
That sounds like Brian's is when he had fallen in 2018, and that was his last day of working at all. But for 3 months, he couldn't even stand up on his own.
That sucks.
He could not put any weight on his right foot whatsoever for 3 months.
Well, knowing him now, I'm glad he healed.
Yes.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, you both are.
Seven's so glad you're still here, Susan. It was scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got me through. Evelyn and Carl came down and really helped me through. They were the only ones who came to the hospital to see Susan.
Oh yeah. Well, I didn't really. I mean, like I said, I don't remember much about the first couple days.
I do.
She does, but I didn't even. She says I told her to leave because I was like, I don't want anyone seeing me like this.
She still had a ventilator in, and she couldn't talk, but I held her hand, and I asked her. I said, "Are you okay? Do you want me to leave?" And she said, "You need to go." So
yeah.
So I left,
and I knew full well my daughter
after she got off the ventilator.
My daughter could not come see me in the hospital. Her house was just down the road from where I was at, but her seeing me like that wouldn't have been good for her.
Right.
Because she watched Daddy die. When he had his widowmaker heart attack, I mean, he was gone before he hit the ground.
Yeah.
And she was right there. She's the one who called 911.
I remember going to see my dad in the ICU after he had heart surgery. It was frightening. So I get it.
I don't remember that part. She remembers, but I remember probably after the second day is where I was lucid enough where they took the catheter out, the ventilator, all that stuff. And I mean,
drainage tubes.
I got up and moved around and all that, and that was great then. And they were just like, "Wow, you're in great shape." And I'm thinking, I didn't have a heart attack. I mean, I was truly lucky because had I not advocated for myself from the time that I knew something was wrong to when I had the surgery was a month.
Yeah.
That's because I'm pushy.
They moved fast.
But I'm pushy. I did not want to have this problem and not know what was going on.
Absolutely.
And so it was like, and that's why I tell people, you know what? Women don't present the same way, but all it is a simple blood test. You tell the ER people, they say, "Do you have pain?" Just say yes. Say yes and say, "I want the cardiac enzyme blood test." It's a quick blink, and they will know right away if something is going on. There is no ifs, ands, and buts. The enzyme will be in your bloodstream.
Yeah.
If there's something
says, "I'm so glad you survived. I get the chance to know you."
Yay.
You're so cool.
Yeah, they're saying hi. Amy's very scary.
Yeah.
It was
2024. Well, 2023 was scary, but 2024 was a whole different way.
Yeah, a lot of personal issues in 23 where, lost people. But in 24, yes, that was
a different kind of cortisol and stress.
Oh, yeah. Mortality was definitely and I still have some anxiety. I'm getting better with that.
Her sleep was, she didn't want me to wake up to her being dead. Basically.
Nope.
That's it. So it was okay, it don't get any more real than that.
I totally get that. Trust me.
So it was
Susan,
like,
thank
okay,
goodness you were persistent and listened to your body talking, Karen
that's
says.
it.
Yeah.
And you have to be persistent. Like I said, a simple blood test is all it was.
And
That's something so easy.
Our primary care physician is awesome. She listened to Susan
Yep.
and sent her to the ER.
Yes.
We will forever be grateful to Amy for doing that. She listened to Susan. She's been our doctor for the past 10 years, ever since we moved to Ohio. She's always been there. And she listens to us.
But that's just it. It was like, okay. I mean, we use our own labs sometimes and get some of the extra testing done. And I love the fact that we can do that now. But it's like, okay, you got to pay attention and know what's going on in your life. And if you do that, you're fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Two Crazy Ketos has a link on their description on their YouTube page, the Own Your Labs link that they have. And there's a discount. And I use that link every time.
Yeah. And we do the lab quest is right there.
Yeah. We need to do it again, but.
Well, I've got some due next month. So.
Yeah. Well, I got to go on Monday for a blood test.
Yeah.
Lynn says, thank goodness for that test.
That's it.
Jennifer says, they're not good at diagnosing men either. Working in the construction industry, many of my crew went home from the ER on Tylenol only to be rushed back with a heart attack.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only time I ever received insulin, she says, I was in the hospital.
Yep. It's mandatory.
It is. It's part of their protocol.
But they still feed you stupid food, even though you're a diabetic. It's like,
oh yeah. We'll go back to that.
mm-hmm.
Mary T said, my friends all say it won't work for them without even trying. That's where I get frustrated. Try for 30 days. And if you still feel that way, I'll never speak of it again. Yeah.
Well, at the end of the day, all you can do.
Or go to KPL. Go to a meetup.
I mean,
listen to stories.
Believe me, when they found out that I had a quintuple bypass at work, they're like, oh, is that a keto diet? I'm like, no, the keto diet is what allowed me to be surviving, is because I knew immediately something was wrong. You don't get those kind of, I didn't have the heart attack. And what's funny is we have a sister plant in Springfield, and one of the guys there had just got done having a heart attack. And so he had the heart attack, and he was just like, so you didn't have a heart attack? I said, no. And he's like, wow. And you're back and at work. I'm like, yes. I thought, it's been good for me. I said, I can tell you now that I know when I need to rest, and I listen to my body, and I rest when I need to.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, okay, like the last couple of days, I've been a little bit tired because we did a lot of stuff Wednesday, a lot of stuff Thursday. And then the daughter wanted to shop this morning at an early hour. And then it was like, okay, well, but now I'm having a nice relaxing evening. We're good. And then it's like, okay, but that's all it is. It's, you have to take the time. And as far as I'm concerned, time is the one thing I can't bargain with. So you got to do your best.
Way too short to bargain with your life.
Well, that's it.
Karen says, I just love how you guys support each other.
Well, that does work out well. That we've been married 15 years. We've been married 14. Yeah. We've been together 15.
Yeah.
Dustin says, we're all different in the details. I think we're all the same when it comes to where to begin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my husband. He was a big Dale Earnhardt fan, so he's used this for everything.
Hi.
Lynn saying hi to Brian.
Guinea pig.
Brian, guinea pig.
Guinea pig.
Mary T says, you're lucky you don't live in Canada. It would take months to be diagnosed with hidden symptoms like that. Often a long wait for surgery.
Yeah.
15 years ago, I had cancer. And when I had cancer, my friend was diagnosed at the exact same time. She lives in England. Now, I'll grant you, she got her surgery done and didn't have any bills. I got my surgery done. I had a bill, but it got paid for by my insurance. But neither one of us had a cancer that was fast acting. If it had been fast acting, I would have survived and she would not have.
Wow. Evelyn says, 2024, you are overcomers. You're ending the year with a cruise. Woohoo!
Oh, yes.
It helps to have a whole bunch of keto community.
Oh, she had a
I mean,
352.
we're just so happy to be in the keto community, to have friends that we haven't had. I mean, the amount of friends that
Amount of people we've met.
yeah, and I mean,
tremendous.
just since KPL 23, that's when we met Evelyn and Carl, and we call them family.
Yes, they
when,
are family.
When we did Safe Harbor Live in June,
we did our own meetup
where Ohio, Indiana, and Kentucky converged on Little Eaton, Ohio. We had 30 people there.
And we had a very nice time.
And it was local people. We had 2 people from Susan's job come.
Yes.
And we had people who have other YouTube channels that didn't know us, but we know them now.
Yeah.
I mean, you and Brian are family. Dustin, Jen, Jackie.
And it's nice. And I like the community aspect a tremendous amount. So
this way
that you can't beat.
This keto community, it makes everything worthwhile.
Yep.
Everything that we've given up to get healthy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you think about it, you give up this, you give up this, you give up this. But gaining community, it doesn't matter anything that you gave up.
Yeah.
Because you gained a lot more.
I have a YouTube channel now. What the heck?
Same.
Jennifer, you had a troponin level of 352 and they found nothing.
Trying to get there.
No heart attack. Well, that's great. No heart attack. Something was going on.
She's a unicorn.
Yeah.
Like I said, mine never went over 46, but that was enough for my doctor to be like, oh, there's something going on. She was actually rather upset that the ER saw me 3 more times and didn't really give me anything. Right. It was my own persistence. They were like, okay, an ER is an emergency room. So I wasn't at an emergency level. And I thought, well, no, I would have died if I'd have had a heart attack. And I would have.
Yeah, it wasn't a fact of getting me up at 4 a.m. and drive me to the ER. It's like, call the ambulance. And she didn't want me to call an ambulance. Nope. Says, no, they wouldn't get here. I'd be dead by the time we get you in the car.
Yes. So I'm like, get in the car, drive. I will breathe. You drive.
I was stressing.
Oh, yeah. Well, and that's just it. I don't want her to stress. And so it's like, okay, we know what we have to do. I worked with my walker. I made sure I get more steps now. I try to continue to be good. I can't say I was really great for Thanksgiving because I had a couple things we did good, but I had a couple things I probably shouldn't have had, but I knew it. I could feel it. And it was like, okay, so today, much lighter on the food, more water, let my body relax and come down from that. And then, okay, move forward.
We have 2 steaks in the air fryer that are waiting for us after this interview.
Yes.
Well,
we wanted some good protein.
We went to Sonny's beforehand.
There you go.
I had this for once. I had a big old salad there.
Hey, Carl.
Ev and I were discussing that we need community to help override the decades of bad diet, health, and wellness advice that echoes in our heads. Could not do it without you all.
And we couldn't do it with you either because Carl can talk. Yesterday, Thanksgiving, our dog walker, she comes in from a half an hour away. She and Carl have gotten together talking about Luna and talking about their different dog training techniques. Mm-hmm. They were having a ball. But Carl and Evelyn started talking to the other people who aren't keto, all about keto. And it's like, we're just kind of sitting back and say, okay, do your job, go. Do it.
But I mean, it's good because like I said, when
so good.
When we started keto, I mean, I have several people that I've worked with for 20 and 30 years. Because we came from Missouri. We all ended up here at the same company. So we've been together 20, 30 years. And both of them are now at the point of, okay, what do I need to do to help myself with some of this. And I said, okay, so the first thing you got to do is you got to look at your carb intake. I said, you know, when we go out, you watch, you know how I eat when we go out. I said, you eat rice, you eat bread. I said, you eat all these carbs on top of what protein you have. I said, so, you know, she's got to have some surgery done. And it's like, the doctor does not want to give you this surgery until you lose a little bit of the weight because it's so much. And it's like, yep, your blood type.
That same ER visit, I learned my blood type changed.
How does it change?
Happy unicorn. My goodness.
She is a unicorn.
But she's so sweet.
That's odd. Amy, I'd like to find community in my area, Northwest Missouri. I haven't found anyone yet.
We got family in central St. Louis area.
Yeah, she's in Northwest, so she's more St. Joe, Kansas City. Amy, is that what you are?
Up by Council Bluffs.
Now, Terry, how far is Terry from you? Terry Least, isn't she in Missouri?
I don't know.
Yeah, Terry's in Missouri.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just don't know where.
Just thought I'd ask, can you send me some of your trifle dessert you made? Oh my, these look good. They were extremely good.
Yeah.
The recipe is on my website. I put it up at like 5 o'clock in the morning when I couldn't sleep.
My keto chow shipped today, so hopefully it gets here before we leave on the cruise.
Yes.
Mine's getting ready to ship too. I never take off my friendship bracelet that Evelyn made me.
Right here.
Now I'm not nearly as lucky because I'm constantly taking gloves on and off and everything. So mine don't usually last for very long, but they're all on my little tray.
Low carb events. Yeah, low carb events is what got me to the Safe Harbor Live. That's why we had 30 people come.
Yeah.
From all over.
But you know, I really enjoyed that so much. And I told Andy, I said, you know, I know it's a lot, honey. I said, but you know, really, I like to entertain, so I didn't mind that much. But it was like, you know what? I like to have a meetup. And now, you know, we try to support everybody, you know, so that if there's a meetup, okay, can we go to that? Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
But we'll make ours a yearly event and we will have it every year.
But we put our doggy to the our doggy sitter, and we'll get a hotel and we'll go, because I'm not like you, Cindy. I know you've got Max at home, and I know you have to drive 3.5 hours one way, spend 3 hours with us, and then drive 3.5 hours home. I can't do that. That would be
that's just because we have Max at home.
That would be so stressful. No, we'll get a hotel and put the dog out.
It's really not. It's like we're excited on the drive there. We have fun while we're there, and then we unwind on the drive home.
Yeah, so hopefully there's not bad weather on the way down.
Oh, if it's bad weather, I'm not going anywhere. So
that's it.
We were supposed to meet Dustin one time at Rockstar Pizza.
That's not.
We got on the highway here in Richmond, and it was pouring. I could not see taillights in front of me.
Wow.
It was so bad. I tried to get hold of him. I said, we are getting off this highway. We were like one exit from our house.
Yeah.
We didn't get far. It was horrendous. I said, we have to reschedule because I'm not driving 3.5 hours and not knowing what was ahead of me. Yeah. I'm like, no, I couldn't see anything. I'm like, I'm not risking my life to go have pizza.
No.
You know, that was nuts. So Evelyn said to Amy, get on low carb events and check for things nearest to you. You may have to drive a couple hours, but as this movement grows, you will find friends closer.
Oh yeah.
The suggestion I had too, Amy, is maybe you and Terry could meet halfway. I know she said it's 5 hours.
Yep. North St. Joe.
Andi and Susan were just saying, I've driven 3.5 hours one way to go to a meetup just to turn around when it was over and come back home because we have a dog at home.
Right.
And I know not everybody's going to do that. You know, we have had one meetup at our house. last year in July. And there was actually a couple of people upset because I couldn't invite everybody.
Mm-hmm.
We have we have an open concept house,
Uh-huh.
but it also rained that day, and we were planning on outdoor activities too, so that wasn't happening. Everyone was in the house.
Well, that's why we had the lodge. We rented out the lodge.
Right.
The lodge is 4 minutes from our house.
And
So
the lodge
I
was out
know,
great.
and it's beautiful there.
Yes. That's why we'll do some of those, and that'll work out good because there's always enough room. There are outside events that we could do. And if you can't do them and you have to stay inside, it still was plenty of room.
Yeah.
Right. You can't book that till after the beginning of the year, right?
Right.
Yeah. I have to wait till January.
1.
All right. I beg you, make it towards the end of June because
well, we're going to be on the cruise. We're going to be on the Alaskan cruise.
The Alaskan cruise we're going on. So
the reason I ask is we're planning on going to Dustin's in May, and then leaving and going to New Hampshire to see our kids and grandkids.
That'd be very nice.
So we'd like to be there for both. So
okay. Well, like I said,
rocking in keto, Amy. Hello.
Hey, Amy, how are you?
It's okay. That just means you got to watch the replay.
You can watch it on both channels.
Sherry's, I feel so fortunate. I've never been a stress eater, actually just the opposite. I eat low carb keto because it's better for me and helps to keep the weight down. Eating this way for 20 years. Wow, that's amazing. That's that is awesome.
I don't know how I got through my first divorce because I had 3 kids, gained weight from all of them, but then I got divorced when Ariel was a year and a half, and I went right back down. I don't know how. Now I'm a stress eater. I eat everything in sight. When I went through my first divorce, I didn't eat anything and I lost all the weight.
Well, you need to learn how to de-stress. You were stressed about this.
Yep. See?
Now we are over an hour into it. Was there really any reason to stress?
De-stress?
I don't know. I haven't seen the replay yet.
Oh my goodness.
There's no reason to be upset. You
are so crazy.
That's why.
Hello, Nan. Thank you for joining us. And I gotta tell you,
family, I'm stronger than I was 15 years ago, but boy, cortisol and stress.
I've got to say a big thank you to Nan. Yes. She ordered a cutting board for a friend of hers and a coaster set for her from what we're doing. And
nice.
Hoping Andy gets some money from that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's been decent. I mean, I sent out 3 orders. 2 of them were Nan's orders. Another one today. Right now, we have none. So we're sitting pretty. Brian just got caught up, and it's good. But I want to thank Nan. I mean, we've been communicating via Messenger, but I wanted to thank her because, it was nice.
That would be something nice to get Kelly. I love the slate ones.
Yeah.
The slate ones are beautiful.
We'll probably give you a call and try to get you an order for Christmas.
Yeah, you all ordered too. I appreciate it so much.
Oh, they were wonderful.
Yep.
Oh, they're so nice. Oh, I want Karen to tell you. Hold on. It's saying hi. Thanks, Mary T. Evelyn says, just breathe. You got this, girl. Yes.
You know me.
Let me tell you. I'm going to tell you something that Debbie tells me all the time. Worrying is a waste of energy.
I know.
Mm-hmm. And you could be using that energy on something good.
Mm-hmm. I got my steps in. I got 10,000 steps in just because I was pacing.
But that could have been because you were stressed and you had to keep moving. So,
hey, now, when I first married her, when I would make her angry, it was amazing how clean the house got when she was mad at me. So,
you know what?
I like a little bit of that.
I used to do that same thing when I was married to my first husband. He would make me mad. I was like, get out of my way. Just get out of my face. Just leave me alone. And I did that. Karen also placed a couple orders, and I am going to tell you, I posted one on the Facebook support page of the dog.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she ordered. 2 sets of black slate with pictures of their puppies on it.
Aww.
So like, they're amazing. They turned out so nice. It was like, and she just got them today.
The slate was beautiful.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Hello, Evelyn. Nancy Tanner. Have you ever gotten your order, Miss Nancy? There's another one. Thank you so much.
Nancy, are you going on the cruise? That's where we met her. We met her on the cruise.
I'm as dressed, I clean.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Married to. Here's my view on worry. Control what you can control and let go of the rest.
Yeah, I'm not good at that.
Control the weather, but you can bring an umbrella. There you go. Hello, Evelyn.
Yeah. Oh,
wow.
okay.
What?
Nancy,
I'm going to check. It's in Claremont, so hopefully you'll get it tomorrow, Nancy. If you don't get it in your mail tomorrow, please let me know. Because I did get word it is in Claremont.
Cool. Yes, I'm going on the cruise.
Going on the cruise. Can't wait to see you and Susan.
We'll see you next week.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I have to work 8 days in December, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thrilled.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yes. Debbie, actually, my sister, she got some black slate coasters. Her friend has a motorcycle, and she had a picture of him on his bike.
Oh, wow.
They came out so nice.
Oh, nice.
It's just wild.
I like the ones with the lighthouse.
Bring in the ones.
Yeah, we got the lighthouse ones for her mom for Christmas.
Yeah. That's what Nan just ordered, is a set of the lighthouse with the whale.
Oh, yeah.
On the black slate.
Wow.
Oh, see, that looks really good.
They came out great.
I've got some pictures of like from Colorado and stuff. And when we go to Alaska in June, I'll be taking a ton of pictures. I like to turn those into pictures that I can put on the CNC. Mm-hmm. So we've got a 3D printer and a CNC. It's a 4-in-1 thing in the garage.
Right.
We've done the engraver. We've done a few things on it, but we need to bring it back out and actually do something with it.
Yep.
So Andy.
Yes.
Any medications? How is your health other than your stress level?
I'm not on any antidepressants, so that's good.
Oh,
and I've never been. I take a thyroid. My thyroid was, I had my first thyroid. Well, I had my first A1C in 2015. It was a 5.7. So I was going up, and that was probably when I started walking and stuff in 2015, because I didn't want to, I knew what 5.7 was. It was nearing pre-diabetic range, and I didn't want to go there. Yep. So I just changed the food and took out high fructose corn syrup and lowered the carbs and did IF. And that brought it down. My 2024 A1C in January was, I think, a 5.4. My lowest was a 5.1. I never got it below 5.1. I wanted to see a 4.9, but it never happened. My thyroid is, I am hypo, but when you listen to Dr. Berry, he says for your thyroid, don't go on levothyroxine, which I had been on for like 8 years. I moved to the Armor, and I'm still working through that. Susan I
went on it, but it took mine. I was a 1.1. It took mine up to an 8.7. So I immediately switched back to the Synthyroid until they get hers worked out, where it's the right number and the right level. Then we'll know what the good exchange is. But yeah, I couldn't have my thyroid be whacked out like that.
Right.
Yeah. My
Sherry wants to. Is this a keto cruise?
This is the Two Crazy Ketos cruise with Joe and Rachel.
It's just a vacation cruise.
It's a vacation cruise. There's no conferences. There's no.
It's not like a low carb cruise.
No, that's the one in July.
Okay, Mary T. I can't afford the cruise, but I think I'll drive 5 hours to Seattle and attend pre-cruise dinner if there is one. I could Alaskan cruise out of Vancouver for a third of the money. Just can't justify.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, but we've never been one of our bucket lists was to go to Alaska. Mm-hmm. And it's we've been to Hawaii. We might as well see Alaska on a cruise. So
there you go.
Mm-hmm. And we'll hit all the other states.
Jennifer got
the bucket list is still 50 states and I'm on like 41.
Right. Jennifer got a set of the black slate with a cabin.
Ooh, pretty.
Nice.
On it. Good.
2KK getaway cruise next week.
Yep.
Oh, Mary T, let's do that. My brother-in-law is in Bellingham, so we were hoping to go in early and do some visiting.
Hey, I want to do a shout out to Trish and Bob Reed. Bob Reed's birthday's today, but they're in Buffalo, New York, and they're going to get snowed in. They're supposed to be on a cruise with us next week. So pray that the snow somehow breaks and they're able to get out of Buffalo so they can join the cruise in Florida.
I told her to have faith. Buffalo measures their snow in feet, not inches.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they know how to deal with snow.
Yep.
In Portland, Oregon, if they get snow, 1 inch closes the city.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They don't even have snow plows. Did you know that? I was like, you don't have snow plows?
Yes.
Because I had to go up there for business several times, and I was like, really? Stop that.
They don't know how to drive in it either. So it's best that they shut the whole city down because it's like that in so many areas.
There's so many hills in Portland, Oregon. My daughter's on them. That's where she lives.
Yes.
Yeah. Even if there's not, if there's a place that doesn't usually get snow and they get snow, oh my God, even if it's a dusting, you would think the whole city was paralyzed. Now, Brian is from New Hampshire, so we know about footage of snow in New England. Trust me.
We used to live in St. Louis, and St. Louis would get ice. We moved to Ohio, and now we actually get snow. So it's
Amy said 5 pounds from high school weight, and my A1C is only 5.0, so don't feel bad. That's right.
Amy was a great supporter of PSMF. Yeah, that one. We make the bread. I make egg white bread. I have been making it for the past year and a half, but we don't follow Marie Emmerich's plan.
But we do have the books, so
we have the books. We just need to do it.
Yes.
Right. I'm sad because I would love to be there to show off my beautiful British Columbia to all my keto friends. Your cruise to Alaska is mostly British Columbia.
Yeah, we've been, Mary T, you and I have been talking about going up there because my daughter lives in Portland, Oregon. So
we plan on spending some extra days there.
We love Canada. We've been to Windsor, Hamilton, London, Niagara Falls,
Toronto. Oh, it's very nice.
Yeah, we've been up there. We haven't been to the other side, so we need to do that. We love Canada, and we're only 3.5 hours drive up Detroit, and we want to catch the train and go all the way across because we're nearing retirement, and it's like, okay, honey, where are we going to go? We've been on Amtrak. We want to do England. We want to do Scotland. We want to travel.
Yeah.
COVID screwed our European trip.
Yes. I have traveled a great deal for my work. So I've been all over Asia and I've been in Russia. I've been all over Europe.
Malaysia. Yeah.
So it's
we want to go to Australia.
I really would like to travel a little bit with her instead of just checking how many days I'm not with her.
Yeah. And we want to be healthy to do all that.
Yes.
Right. That's another why. And we have a granddaughter that we want to see grow up.
Yep.
I mean, when our daughter got pregnant, it's like, oh, we really have to get healthy now.
Yes, we do.
Because I
got to enjoy some of the, the conversations. I can't believe I did this to you guys when I was this age. We're like, yes. And now we get to watch it being done to you. We like that.
That's funny.
Yes.
My son,
my little grandbaby is smart as a whip.
She loves our stairs. She was all over them yesterday.
Smart as a whip. Very, very smart. But she just is, she's definitely her mommy's daughter. And she wants to go, go, go.
She's almost 15 months old, and it's only going to get worse.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. My son came to me one day. His daughter is now 21. When she was 16,
wow.
He said, Mom, please take that curse off of me. She was driving him crazy. So anyway, Mary says, sounds like Vancouver. Snow equals freak out.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Nancy said, Trish and Bob headed to Massachusetts before Thanksgiving.
I texted her this morning and I said, are you going to bug out early? And she says, contemplating it. So yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping.
What?
That happens in Sherry's town when it snows and people freak out.
Oh,
Mary said, I moved to the mountains. People here are experts. No problem driving in the snow. When you're used to it, there is no problem.
I moved away from Colorado.
Yeah.
That's where my family is.
My neighbor laughs at this Cali Beach hippie who freaked out with a foot of snow. They are from Montana.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's what I said. I said, Trish and them guys have lived in Buffalo for a while. Mm. So, like I said, they measure in feet. They don't even measure in inches, so they know.
Right. Same in New Hampshire. It's the same up in New England. West is best, girls. You ain't seen nothing till you see British Columbia.
Well, we'll be happy to come and see.
I only did PSMF because weight loss was important for my left hip recovery. My doctors and I set a goal weight. PSMF broke me through it. A 2-year stall.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to break through my 2-year stall.
Well, maybe we need to read more about that.
Yeah, we need to.
Northern Indiana snow is awful. It's snowing now. We get lake effect from Lake Michigan.
Yeah, that means you get the really heavy wet stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, she's up near.
Is rough.
Yep.
So, ladies, anything else that we didn't touch base on?
No, I think we did pretty good.
I've got my little list here.
She's cheating. She's got to.
I don't make a list. No, I don't do any of this.
2023. Okay, December 10th, 2023. I looked at my step count for the year, and it was 955 miles for the year. So in 10 days from the 20th to the 31st of December, I walked 55 miles in order to get my 1,000 miles for the year. So in 2024, I said, well, let's up this to 1,200. So
100 miles a month.
It's 100 miles a month. And I've been putting that on my YouTube channel. And I am at 11. No, I'm at 10. I'm above the mandated by 12 miles.
Yeah.
And
very good.
And I had a September challenge, a walking challenge to do 100 miles with me. And walking, I think, is the easiest way to get exercise. We have weights in the house. Mm-hmm. We have moved them from the office upstairs to the office, downstairs by the Christmas tree now, because we both need to work on weight training.
Yep.
And if we don't see it, we're not going to do it.
So keep moving them from room to room. You're lifting them.
There you go. Do you know that the grandbaby was playing with the weights?
I have
and
video.
She weighs 20 pounds herself, but she can pick up the 8-pound weight and carry it.
She was doing that yesterday.
Yes.
But I figure strength training is our best. My core, I have a challenge. There's this guy on YouTube who, you put your hand over, you get down into an Indian sitting position, and then you try to get yourself up out of that. I can't do it.
Using your hands. Yeah.
So that is my goal for my birthday, February 19th, 2025. For me to, because it is a core workout, you need a strong core in order to do it. I want to be able to do it by my 54th birthday. So
that's mine and Brian's anniversary, February 19th.
Really? That's my birthday.
It'll be 21 years.
That's cool.
Wow,
that's so cool. See, I knew we loved you.
Sherry said, live in the mountains of Arizona. We get a good bit of snow, but this girl and her Prius do not leave the house.
That would be your first problem.
You know, when it snows, it's so beautiful when it's just not being touched.
Yes.
And it just sparkles in the sun. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
But having to be out in it, no thank you.
I didn't mind it. And I learned through this whole thing. Last year when I did the over 100 miles in December, my heart doesn't like the warm weather. I get my zone minutes in warm weather. My heart rate goes up to 160, 170, and Susan says, what's your heart rate? You need to slow down, sit down.
Yep. But
during the winter, it doesn't do that. So I've been walking. My lowest is about 19 degrees, but I'm walking 8,000 steps a day. Most of them I do inside, but I do go outside as long as I'm bundled up. And I know I'm probably going to make a video. It's like, how do you bundle up in the wintertime? This is how I do it.
Layer. Yep.
Yeah. Just layers. Do a base layer and
go.
But I wanted to be a teacher when I was growing up. I won a career day contest in 6th grade because I wore a 2-piece suit and I looked like a teacher and I had my hair up and everything. And I was so proud of myself. And I won it. And I worked in a school district for 14 years while my kids were in school. So I could see them and they loved it until they were about 11 years old. And then it's like, Mom, go away. But yeah, they liked seeing me there. So I did that. But I've always been a teacher. And I think that's what makes it easier for me to have a YouTube channel and to talk to the camera, because I hope that I'm teaching somebody something that they didn't know before. Mm-hmm. And with this keto community and learning all this and getting healthier and learning so much I have in the past 3 years, I want to be able to pass that on.
You know, that's why I started mine. Mm-hmm. If I could help one person by telling my story.
Yeah.
It's all worth it.
That's
all worth it.
That's why Joe and Rachel, that's why Rachel cries on cameras, because she's going through, she sees somebody, she hears somebody's story, and they're telling her it's because of you guys. It's because of the community. And I break down when she breaks down. I don't like to see Rachel cry. I don't like to see that, but I know it's for a good reason, because she's helped somebody and they've gone to her and say, you've helped me. Thank you. And that's why we will. They've got 3 scheduled cruises, and we're on all 3 of them because I love them as a coach. And if I can pick their brains on a cruise, it's all worth it. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And there you go. They're such great people. Everybody. There is not a person that we have met that has not taught us something. Or that if there's a way to see them again and just spend time with them, yeah, let's go. Yeah. And she's here with me, doing it with me. Yes. And that's the greatest blessing of this whole thing.
Well, I think that's been very good. One thing I want to do is give a shout out to you, Cindy. I appreciate asking us to come on and talk about our stories. Because I'll be honest, one of the things that I really wanted to do more of, and that was get my story out there so that women in particular know that, you know what, it was a simple little blood test. That's it.
Well, I heard your story at your meetup.
Right.
Yeah.
When Dustin and I were recording them all. Yeah. Once we got everybody's okay, of course.
Yeah.
And it was like, you're right. People need to hear this, especially the women out there that do not know that there are unfortunately some women out there that still think the left arm pain, like most men. And,
and
it's sad because it's out there so much that women are so much different as far as symptoms, if you even have any.
Everything.
So
that's why I said, when my doctor said it's a little blood test, I want you to go have it. And I thought, you know what? That's the trick right there. It was a little bitty blood test, but it told me, hey, it confirmed something was going on.
Right. What was that blood test again?
Troponin.
Yeah, it's troponin.
It's an enzyme. It's a
cardiac enzyme.
Cardiac enzyme.
And it should only show up in your bloodstream, like I said, 12 or under. So if it shows up any more than that, then there's something going on.
Yeah.
That's why when Jennifer said hers was 352, I'm thinking, well, my doctor flipped out at 44. So I'm thinking 352, I'd have been like, well, what the hell are you all doing then for me?
See, I keep getting things done because Dr. Berry says we should.
Yep.
And when I got my CAC scores, I was devastated.
Yeah, it's a little high.
A little?
It wasn't a 0. Mine wasn't a 0 either. Mine was a 4.28, I think.
Mine was over 5,000.
Yeah, we have no clue what Susan's is.
I don't know what it is now. what it was before? Yeah, I'm saying I don't know.
My second one a year later, on the advice of Dr. Ovadia, I got the second one done, and it was over 6,000.
Was it slowing
down? I said,
I'll
never have another one done. I talked to Dr. Berry at KPL. He said, you need to have another one done. I'm like,
yeah, because you're showing a trend.
I said, do you know the stress level I went through when I got that?
Right.
I just told you, I worry a lot. Debbie tells me it's a waste of energy.
Yep.
That time, I think she understood.
Yeah.
Because that's scary.
Yeah.
Now, when I go to my doctor and I tell her I want that blood test, she will not bat an eye.
No.
I asked her for a fasting insulin. She said, okay.
Well,
I asked her to check my ferritin. She said, okay.
I haven't had
the
that
doctor
done yet.
previous. I asked him for those things.
What is that?
It's part of it goes along with your iron.
Oh, okay.
Your iron could be okay. Your ferritin level could not be.
Oh, okay.
Your glucose can be fine, but your fasting insulin may not be.
Yeah, that's why we do.
My previous doctor, when I asked for those two tests, and I had Dr. Berry's Common Sense Lab book with me, he says, whoever wrote that book doesn't know what he's talking about.
No, I don't think so.
And he refused to order the test. He said, if your glucose comes back something wrong, then I'll order the fasting insulin. If there's something wrong with your iron, then we'll order the ferritin. I'm like, just do it all at once.
Time for another doctor.
Yeah.
My doctor now, all I got to do, she knows how I eat, how much weight I've lost. And, she's I've only been seeing her for maybe a year. Anything I ask her. She's like, okay. Okay. And she's an APRN.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Ours is
well, the thing is, like I said, I torture my cardiologist because he annoys me with his closed-mindedness. But like I said, his nurses and stuff just giggle because they know I get on his nerves with that stuff. But I was like, dude, I'm perfectly happy to do what you tell me, but you can't tell me to do it just because. You have to show me what
this doctor I'm talking about is my primary.
Yeah.
Right.
The cardiologist that I've seen lately, he's very thorough.
Yeah.
We have done a 2-week heart monitor. He did an echocardiogram. Everything came back good.
Oh, good.
They're like, like Jennifer, she's a unicorn. I think I've got them all baffled because of that high score. And, but I feel good. And that's the thing.
You do need to do it again to see a trend. You need more.
Well, you need more data points.
Well, here's the thing. Dr. Ovadia, and I got to meet him at Hack Your Health. And I interviewed him.
Right.
And I asked him a ton of questions because of all that. He said, most people, as you age, your CAC score increases 20%.
Right.
Mine only went up 10%. So I took that as a win, and I'm like,
that is a win.
I'm done.
Mhm.
I'm good.
Yeah.
You need one
And,
more.
you know, if you stress yourself out,
Yeah.
if I stress myself out by worrying,
Yeah.
if I do this again and it's even higher, you know,
it very well
but
could
it's
be.
going to push myself into having a heart attack.
But Cindy, that's one thing though. The one thing I have learned between my one coworker who is an AFib for years is a lot of the cardiac and heart tests can be manipulated. You know, different things will cause different results. He's like, Stu, when my doctor decides to be difficult, I do this little trick and my numbers will crash.
It's cool.
So that's the thing. All these tests, it depends on where you're at. The tests can be manipulated by other things.
No doubt.
So that's the trick about don't make yourself stress over it. Yes, the numbers can change, but the numbers can be manipulated rather easily. Unfortunately,
Nick Norwitz did the N=1. He ate the Oreos and his cholesterol went down.
Yep.
I decided to do the same thing. My cholesterol in January 2024 after the cruise was 249. January, February, March. Her surgery was in April. I backslid. I totally jumped off the wagon and said, screw you. My cholesterol was 195 at the end when I started going back on keto. I didn't eat well. Therefore, my cholesterol went back into the normal range. According to the doctor, it was 249. I'm unhealthy. You need to do something. I eat crap.
And it went back down.
And it went down to 195. And, you don't need a statin now. I wasn't going to take one anyway. But my N=1 experiment on myself over 4 months, the stress, the emotional eating brought my cholesterol levels back down to where the doctors wanted them. But I was less healthy. I'm less healthy now than I was in January.
Yeah.
So I don't listen to doctors anymore.
Well, it's not that
I do my
listening.
I do my own research.
Do your own research. Be your own advocate and ask questions. There is nothing wrong with asking questions.
No, trust me. I my doctors, like I said, between Brian's and my doctors, they hate to see me coming because I do just that. So Amy said, there's no way I can barely get off the floor with a bad hip without grabbing onto something and pulling myself up. You need to film yourself doing this maneuver, Andy.
That is my next battle because I have a hip flexor, my left hip. When I am inflamed, my left hip, I can feel it. Yeah. And I know it's tight. My hamstring on my right was pulled and torn in 2018. Yeah, that was a bad day. That was such a bad day. You remember that?
Yes.
I can't run anymore.
She was arguing with me. And we were in a full-blown argument. And she was walking across our living room floor. We have an ottoman. We're walking across the living room floor. I'm in front of her.
I'm walking towards her.
I don't see what happens. I just hear her scream.
My foot, my heel planted on the ottoman and it has wheels. So it slid. My left foot planted and I did a I did a split and my hamstring tore. That was July 1st, 2018.
Yeah. My daughter runs downstairs. Did you hit her? I'm like, of course not. But we ended up, she had a bruise this long on her thigh.
I was on crutches for 22 days. I could not.
Wow.
I told her that taught her, don't argue with Susan.
And I can't run anymore. I even if a car is, if I'm in a road lane, in a pedestrian walk, I have to walk it. If a car is coming, fine, hit me. I cannot run.
No. Well,
my running days are over.
But the running is probably over because you tore the muscle.
Yeah. And I didn't get physical therapy. They never gave me physical therapy.
No. So when you tore the muscle,
yes, Amy, I will be.
Now it's connective tissue.
Yeah. And Amy, I want to. it's a challenge that I will be doing. I need to up my core muscles in order to overcome it. But yeah.
Sherry says, I'm not a fan of the snow. One day's okay, but no more than that. That foot of snow lasted for 4 days. It was not fun. Ice and melting waterfalls. Yuck.
Yeah, no way.
Mary said, this was fun, ladies. I'm off to make chicken wings. So we'll see you all.
That is our favorite.
And she will send you some travel ideas for the Pacific Northwest.
Ooh, that would be awesome. Our daughter would love it.
Thank you for coming, Mary. I must say my doc is pretty supportive as well. He always sends student doctors to me. He knows I'll train them.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yep. And Karen says, how is your balance when you stand on one foot?
Non-existent. No, I've got a walking treadmill and I have to hold on to my couch so I don't fall over. My balance sucks. It's really bad.
Yeah. Well, we are caught up on comments.
Okay, cool.
And it's been an hour and a half, and I know you ladies are waiting to eat that steak.
The steak has to be warmed up. But
yes, but that'll be all right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I am so glad to get to know you ladies and to have met you and know more and more about you. Thank you.
We'll be calling about those Christmas gifts because I'm thinking we might want to order something on Slate.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah.
Yes, we have decided to do little gifts. We're not buying anything for kids and for Christmas. So we're going to make coaster sets.
There you go.
And put their names on them.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
That'd be cool.
So
I'm watching your runner down here of all your members.
Yes.
But that was good.
Very nice.
We're right there.
I appreciate everyone too. Believe me, more than anybody can imagine.
It's been a really good couple of weeks for the YouTube members that I'm a part of.
Is that our buddy Sean from Virginia?
Oh,
cool. Hi, Sean.
Getting leftovers from your house. Have a great night.
Yeah, we said everybody would take homes last night.
Enjoy the soup, Evelyn. Dustin, you missed out on the soup, babe.
Oh, you missed out on the pumpkin sausage soup that I asked her to make.
And I made it.
Yes.
All right. Well, you ladies have a great night.
Thank you.
I want to thank everybody in the chat. This has been fantastic.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you in the chat. We'll see you later.
Yes.
And Andy, don't be afraid of any live streams. It's not bad.
Oh. No. Then that wasn't bad at all.
Good.
See?
We're okay.
You did good. Of course, I was right here with you and I could talk to anybody.
Yeah.
She's still stressing and it's over.
It's over and she's still stressing. Yes, but now I'm hungry.
I know. We're gonna
we'll go eat.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Cindy.
You're welcome. Hang out for a second. But everybody else have a great night and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.